Hello students, last time we studied about the structure of the modern periodic table. Today we start the next topic. Our next topic is modern periodic table and electronic configuration. Within a period, the neighboring elements differ slightly in their properties, while distant elements differ widely in their properties. Elements in the same group show similarity and gradation in their properties. These characteristics of groups and periods in the modern periodic table are because of the electronic configuration of the elements. It is the electronic configuration of an element which decide the group and the period in which it is to be placed. Now, see in that green box, characteristics of groups and periods are given. The characteristics of groups and periods in the periodic table are understood by comparison of the properties of the elements. Various properties of all the elements in a group show similarity and gradation. Gradation means some changes occur in the properties of the elements from left to right or from top to bottom. However, the properties of element changes slowly while going from one end to the other. For example, from left to right in a particular period. So next point is given here, groups and electronic configuration. Now some questions are given here. Can you tell? Last year we learned about the electronic configuration of first 20 elements. So check there answers of these questions. First question is given. Go through the modern periodic table that is given in our textbook, table number 2.7, and write the names one below the other of the elements of group 1. So you check the periodic table. Now see that. Here also one table is given and in textbook also given. First element in group 1, hydrogen. Second is lithium. Next one is sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium and francium. So some questions are given here. Now see that questions. What is the first question given? Check now. First question is given. First question, write the names one below the other of the elements of group 1. So that elements are given there. Now write the electronic configuration of first 4 elements in this group. Now see that. So group number 1, hydrogen. Electronic configuration is 1 because 1 electron present in its outermost shell. Lithium atomic number is 3, so electronic configuration is 2 1. Sodium atomic number is 11, so electronic configuration is 2 8 and 1. Next one is potassium, atomic number is 19, electronic configuration is 2 8 8 1. Next elements also given there. So what is the next question? Which similarity do you find in their configuration? So answer of this question is all the elements of group 1 have single electron in their outermost shell. One more question given. How many valence electrons are there in each of these elements? So answer is all the elements of group 1 have one valence electron. Valence electron means the electrons present in the outermost shell of an atom. So in short, what we learn from this, group number shows the same number of valence electrons means same number of electrons present in the outermost shell as per the group number. This is the first point. Now what is the next questions given? Check that. So first of all, we'll read this paragraph. You will find that the number of valence electrons in all these elements from the group 1, that is the family of alkali metal, is the same. Similarly, if you look at the elements from any other group, you will find the number of their valence electrons to be the same. For example, the elements beryllium, magnesium, calcium belongs to group 2, that is the family of alkaline earth metals. There are 2 electrons in their outermost shell because group number is 2. So group number indicates that the same number of electrons present in their outermost shell, that is the valence electrons. Similarly, there are 7 electrons in outermost shell of the elements such as fluorine, chlorine from group number 17, that is the family of halogens. While going from top to bottom within any group, one electronic shell get added at a time. From this, we can say that the electronic configuration of the outermost shell is characteristic of a particular group. However, as we go down a group, the number of shells goes on increasing. So you underline this last line. As we go down a group, the number of shells goes on increasing. Now in the modern periodic table, elements are arranged in an increasing order of their atomic numbers. These are the characteristics of modern periodic table. Second, vertical columns are called groups. There are 18 groups. The chemical properties of elements in the same group show similarity and gradation. Third one, horizontal rows are called periods. There are in all 7 periods. The properties of elements change slowly from one end to the other in a period. Now do you know? See in the pink color box. Uranium has an atomic number 92. So elements having atomic number 1 to 92. These elements are present in nature, so called as natural elements. So how many natural elements are there? 92 elements. All the elements beyond uranium, that is with atomic number 93 to 118, are man-made. That's why that elements are called man-made elements or artificial elements. All these elements are radioactive and unstable and have a very short life. See on the next page. Now this modern periodic table is given in our textbook, so you see that no need to learn or remember all the names of the elements. Total 118 elements present in this periodic table. Second point, periods and electronic configuration. Again some questions given for us. Can you tell? On going through the modern periodic table, it is seen that the elements lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine and neon belongs to the period 2. Write down electronic configuration of all of them. And then afterward we are confirming the answers of question number 2 and 3. Now see that. So this is the answer of first question. So write down electronic configuration of all elements belongs to period 2. Lithium atomic number is 3, electronic configuration is 2,1. Beryllium atomic number is 4, electronic configuration is 2,2. And remainings are given in the picture up to the neon. So diagrammatically also shown in the picture what happened from left to right. So next question is given, is the number of valence electrons same for all these elements? You observe the picture. or electronic configuration? So what do you observe? Answer is no. All these elements have different number of valence electrons. One more question is given. Is the number of shells the same in these? Check their picture again. See, from lithium to neon, all the electrons are filled into shells only. So our answer is yes. All these elements have same number of shells. So what we learn from this given example? In short, period number shows the same number of shells. How many shells are there? You count that and that particular element present in that particular period. So you remember this period number shows the same number of shells. Next point. So you will find that the number of valence electrons is different in these elements, that we confirm from the answer. However, the number of shells is the same, that is the 2 in the given example. You will also find that while going from left to right within the period, the atomic number increases by 1 at a time, and the number of valence electron also increases by 1 at a time. You observe carefully. In this table also given that first 20 elements, that is a new period start from new shell. You observe it carefully. In first period, see on the left hand side, hydrogen and helium, only 2 elements are present in the first period. Second period start from lithium, atomic number is 3, so 2 electrons filled in the first shell and 1 electron is in the second shell. So subsequently check there, beryllium electronic coefficient 2 up to the neon 2 8. Here 8 electron present in the outermost shell, so octet is complete. When 8 electrons are filled in the outermost shell, so next electron filled in the next shell according to the rule of octet. When we are filling the electron in shells, according to that octet rule, electrons are filled like that way. Next element after neon is sodium. Atomic number of sodium is 11. So the 11 atomic number also indicate that the same number of electrons. So these 11 electrons are distributed in the shells like this. 2 electrons in the first shell, 8 electrons in the second shell, and 1 electron is filled in the third shell. So 281 is the electronic configuration of sodium. Same magnesium 282 up to the argon 288. Again octet is completed. After argon, next element is potassium. Atomic number is 19. According to rule of octet, electronic configuration is 2881, and calcium atomic number is 20. Electronic configuration is 2882. That is shown diagrammatically in the table. You check it carefully. Now next page. Explanation is given. Now we can say that elements with the same number of shells occupied by electrons belonging to the same period. The elements in the second period, namely lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, and neon, have electrons in the 2 shells. That shells also indicated by the letters, first shell indicated by letter K and second shell also indicated by letter L. So in these 2 shells, all the electrons are filled from lithium to neon. The elements in the third period, namely sodium, magnesium, aluminium, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine, and argon, have electrons in the 3 shells. That shell indicated by the letters, first shell K, second shell indicated by L, and third shell indicated by the letter capital M. Write down the electronic configuration of these elements as per the second period and confirm. In the modern periodic table, electrons are filled in the same shell while going along a period from left to right, and at the beginning of the next period a new electron shell start filling up. The number of elements in the first three periods is determined by the electron capacity of the shells and the law of electron octets. See the table 2.9 here. Can you recall? First question. What are the values of n for the shells K, L and M? See the second column. N means nothing but the shell number. So K shell is the first shell, L is the second shell and M is the third shell. So that values are given there. Second question. What is the maximum number of electrons that can be accommodated in a shell? Write the formula. So formula is given in the third column 2n square, and we find out the maximum capacity. Now deduce the maximum electron capacity of the shell K, L and M, that is given in the last column. Electron capacity first shell. So we are substituting n is equal to 1 in the formula, so we are getting the answer 2. If we are substituting the second shell, so we are getting the maximum capacity of electron of second shell is 8, third shell is 18 and fourth shell is 32. So by using this formula you find out the next shell's electron capacity also. As per the electron holding capacity of shells 2 elements are present in the first period and 8 elements in the second period. The third period also contains only 8 elements due to the law of electron octet. There are few more factors which control the filling of electrons in the subsequent periods, which will be considered in the next standard. The chemical reactivity of an element is determined by the number of valence electrons in it and the shell number of the valence shell. The information of these points is obtained from the position of the element in the periodic table. That is, the modern periodic table has proved useful for study of elements. Periodic trends in the modern periodic table. When the properties of elements in a period or a group of modern periodic table are compared, certain regularity is observed in their variation. It is called the periodic trend in modern periodic table. In this standard, we are going to consider the periodic trends in only 3 properties of elements, such as valency. Second periodic trend we learn atomic size, and third one metallic and non-metallic character. So first one is valency. You have learned in the previous standard that the valency of element is determined by the number of electrons present in the outermost shell of its atom, that is the valence electron. Valence electron means the number of electrons present in the outermost shell of an atom, that are called as valence electrons. So definition of valency is also given, that you also mark. Valency of element means the number of electrons present in the outermost shell of an atom is called valency of an element. Now think about it. Some questions are given for us again. First one, what is the relationship between the electronic configuration of element and its valency? So these questions answers we learn with the help of diagram. Now see there. Now first question is given. What is the relationship between the electronic configuration of an element and its valency? Some points are given here. The valency of an element is determined by the number of electrons present in the outermost shell of its atom, that is valence electron. We learn from this above paragraph. Second point, from the electronic configuration of an element, the number of valence electrons can be determined. For elements having 1 to 4 valence electrons, valency equals the number of valence electrons. Remember this point. And second point, for elements having 5 to 8 valence electrons, means electrons present in the outermost shell, valency, how to find out valency? So valency is equal to 8 minus number of valence electrons. By using this formula, you find out the valency of that elements. Next question is given. The atomic number of beryllium is 4 while that of oxygen is 8. So write down the electronic configuration of these two and deduce their valency from the same by using the above formula. Now check in the table. Element beryllium, electronic configuration is 2 2. Valence electron is 2, that is outermost shell. That's why valency is 2 as per the above formula. Point C is given. Check there. Oxygen, electronic configuration is 2 6. 6 electron present in outermost shell, so called as the valence electrons, that are 6. So by using the above formula, that is D point in above explanation, 8 minus 6 is equal to 2. So valency of oxygen is also 2. Now next question given for you. You try to find out the answer of that question number 3. What is that question number 3? The table on the next page is made on the basis of modern periodic table. So write in it the electronic configuration of the first 20 elements below the symbol and write the valency. One specimen element is shown there. Now check. Symbol potassium, on left hand side atomic number of potassium is written, that is 19. Electronic configuration, so atomic number 19 means 19 electrons, so that electron distributed in this way, 2 8 8 1. This is the electronic configuration of potassium, and that's why in outermost shell only one electron, that is a valence electron present, and that's why valency is 1. So this empty periodic table is given for first 20 elements. So use same table you draw in your notebook, and as per the specimen given, you write all first 20 element in this pattern. Okay, now next question given here, question number 4. What is the periodic trend in the variation of valency while going from left to right within a period? Explain your answer with reference to period number 2 and 3. Now check that. The answer of this question after writing, check here also in this modern periodic table. So check there. So period number 2. Which elements are present in period number 2? Start from lithium, beryllium. So that numbers indicate the number of valence electrons in their outermost shell. Lithium 1, beryllium 2, boron 3, up to the neon 0. That numbers indicates the valency. Period number 3, sodium valency 1, magnesium 2, aluminium 3, silicon 4, phosphorus 3, 2, 1 and argon 0. While going from left to right within a period, the valency first increases from 1 to 4 and then decreases to 0. You observe carefully here. One more question is given. Option number 5. What is the periodic trend in the variation of valency while going down a group? Explain your answer with reference to the group 1, group 2 and group 18. So in that table you observe carefully these groups. Now elements and valency are given. Group number 1 is called as alkali metal group. First element is lithium, sodium, potassium. All elements shows the valency 1. Why? Because group number indicates the valence electrons, and from the valence electron we decide the valency. Group number 2, it means 2 electron present in their outermost shell. Which elements are there? Be, beryllium, Mg, magnesium, Ca, calcium. All elements shows the same valency, that is the 2. And group number 18 means outermost shell of all these elements are completely filled. In case of helium, only 2 electrons present in the outermost shell, that is a duplet is completed. That's why valency 0, and remaining elements in this group number 18 complete their octet, that is 8 electrons in their outermost shell. That's why no need to take electrons or give electron to any other atom of the element, and that's why all the elements shows the valency 0. While going down a group, the valency remains the same as the number of valence electron remains the same. Is this valency decided from the number of valence electrons in that particular group? Check the next point. So we are confirming all the answers of these questions. All 5 questions over? Yes. Last paragraph. Okay, all 5 questions are over here. Now next page, number 25. Second periodic trend we learn, that is the atomic size. You have seen in the previous standard that size or volume is the fundamental, that is the basic property of matter. You know that. The size of an atom is indicated by its radius. So definition of atomic radius is given here. You make underline this sentence. Atomic radius means what? The distance between the nucleus of the atom and its outermost shell is called atomic radius. This is the definition of atomic radius that we learned in previous standard also. Atomic radius is expressed in the unit picometer. Underline this. Atomic radius is expressed in the unit picometer, in short PM, which is smaller than the nanometer. In bracket what is given? 1 picometer is equal to 10 raised to minus 12 meter. Some elements and their atomic radii are given here. Which elements are given? O, oxygen, boron, carbon, nitrogen, beryllium and lithium. So some use your brain power and we are finding out the answers of these questions. Now what is the first given? By referring the modern periodic table, find out the period to which of the above elements belongs. So all these elements are belongs to second period. Arrange the above elements in a decreasing order of their atomic radii, means biggest to smallest. So which is the first one? Lithium, then beryllium, then afterward boron, then carbon, then nitrogen and then oxygen. This is the order, decreasing order of their atomic radii. See again, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen and oxygen. This is the answer of second question. Does this arrangement match with the pattern of the second period of the modern periodic table? Yes, as per the atomic size decreasing, that order is a match. Fourth question. Which of the above elements have the biggest and the smallest atom? So which is the biggest one as per the atomic radius given? Lithium is the biggest atom and oxygen is the smallest atom. Fifth question is given. What is the periodic trend observed in the variation of atomic radius while going from left to right within a period? So what do you observe? Carefully observe. I will show the answer of all the questions. So answer of the first question, all the given elements lie in the period 2 of the periodic table and remaining answers are given here. Second order is given. So in decreasing order, that we already learned, that is a lithium, then beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen and oxygen. Third answer, yes, that is a match with second period. Third one, lithium is the biggest atom and oxygen is the smallest atom. And last answer, the atomic radius decreases while going from left to right within a period, that we all observed with the help of that example. See the next point. So what explanation given in that paragraph? Yes, check. You will find that atomic radius goes on decreasing while going from left to right within a period. The reason behind this is as follows. This question is asked in give scientific reason. While going from left to right within a period, the atomic number increases one by one, meaning the positive charge on the nucleus increases by 1 unit at a time. However, the additional electron gets added to the same outermost shell. Due to the increased nuclear charge, the electrons are pulled towards the nucleus to a greater extent, and thereby the size of the atom decreases. So this is a give reason question given in our exercise also. You check that question, answer is given in this paragraph. Similar type of question given here. See next. Next elements are given potassium, sodium, Rb rubidium, Cs cesium, Li lithium. So again 5 questions are given. Use your brain power and we are writing the answer. What is the first? By referring to the modern periodic table, find out the groups to which above elements belong. So I think all these elements belongs to the group 1, that is alkali metals. Second question, arrange the above elements vertically downward in an increasing order of atomic radii. Increasing order of their atomic radii means smallest to biggest. Which is the smallest one then? Lithium, then sodium, potassium, rubidium and cesium. This is the order. Listen again. Lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium and cesium. This is the order. Now, does this arrangement match with the pattern of the group 1 of the modern periodic table? So, what is your opinion? So, answer is yes. Check the answer. I will show the answers again, all that 5 questions. Check here. This is the order. First answer is what is given. All given elements belong to the group 1 of the modern periodic table. What is the order given? Lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium and cesium. Third one, yes, that arrangement of element as per the increasing order of atomic radius matches with the group 1 of the modern periodic table. Next question, So which of the above element have the biggest and the smallest atom? So cesium has the biggest atom and lithium has the smallest atom. Fifth question is given. What is the periodic trend observed in the variation of atomic radii down a group? The atomic radius increases while moving down a group. So this is one more example given. So second periodic trend we observed, that is the atomic radius. What happened about the atomic radius in a group and in a period, that we learn with the help of these two examples. Next one. And third periodic trend we learn in standard 10, that is a metallic and non-metallic character. Okay, use your brain power again. 3 questions are given. Look at the elements of the third period. Classify them into metals and non-metals. As per the valency, if the valency of the elements 1, 2 or 3 is shown, that are all metal except boron, because boron is a metalloid, that we learn in standard time. One more thing, the 4 or more than 4 valence electrons present in an atom, that are all non-metals except again one. Which one? That is the silicon. Silicon is a metalloid. So these are the two exceptional cases. For the remaining elements 1 to 20, this rule is used. On which side of the period are the metals, left or right? Same question given here. Next one, third question is given. On which side of the period did you find the non-metals? Now check. That is given there. Yes, here. Which period we are observing? Second or third? Check again. We are observing third period. Check. In third period, sodium 281, magnesium 282, aluminium 283. So outermost shell 1, 2 or 3 electrons present. So these are all metals. Silicon is a special case, that is a metalloid, 4 electrons are there. So what I told, 4 or more than 4 electrons present in the outermost shells, that are all non-metals except silicon. So phosphorus 285, 5 valence electron, sulfur 6 valence electron, chlorine 7 valence electron and argon 8. So after silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine and argon are all non-metals. On the left hand side of the silicon, that is sodium, magnesium and aluminium, all are metals, and silicon Si in the middle. All are getting? Okay, continue the next. It is seen that the metallic elements like sodium, magnesium are towards the left. The non-metallic elements such as sulfur, chlorine, etc. are towards the right. The metalloid element silicon lies in between these two types of elements. A similar pattern is also observed in the other periods. So it is seen that the zigzag lines separate the metals from non-metals in the periodic table. Elements appear to have arranged in such a way that metals are on left side of this line, non-metals on the right side, and metalloids are along the border of this line. How did this happen? As per after the study of properties of the elements. Now let us compare the characteristic chemical properties of metals and non-metals. Last year also we learned some properties. Now see, it is seen from the chemical formulae of simple ionic compound that the cation in them, cation means what? positively charged ion. How that cation form? When electrons are loose from the outermost shell to form a positive ion, that is cation. So cation in them is a form from the metal, while anion means negatively charged ions form from the non-metals. You underline this. Cations in them is a form from a metal, while the anions from a non-metal. From this, it is understood that metal atoms have a tendency to form a cation by losing its valence electron. This property is called electropositivity of an element. You underline. This is the definition of electropositive nature of an element given here. On the other hand, an atom of a non-metal has a tendency to form an anion by accepting electrons from outside into its valence shell. That property is called as what? Electronegativity of an element. You underline carefully these lines. We have already seen that ions have a stable electronic configuration of a noble gas. How is the ability to lose or accept electrons in the valence shell determined? All electrons in any atom are held by attractive force exerted on them by the positively charged nucleus. Electrons in the inner shell lie in between the valence shell and the nucleus. Because of their presence, the effective nuclear charge exerting an attractive force on the valence electrons is somewhat less than the actual nuclear charge. Thus, the number of valence electrons in metals is small, 1 to 3. That is from 1 to 3. Also, the effective nuclear charge exerting attractive force on the valence electrons is small. Number of valence electrons are small. That's why exerting attractive force on that valence electron is also small. As a combined effect of these two factors, metals have a tendency, underline, metals have a tendency to lose the valence electrons to form cations having a stable noble gas configuration. This tendency of an element called electropositivity is the metallic character of that element. Underline, metallic character of that element. One more point we learn and then afterward see in that table. The periodic trend, the periodic trend in the metallic character of element is clearly understood from their position is the modern periodic table. Let us first consider the metallic character of element belonging to the same group. While going down a group, a new shell get added, resulting in an increase in the distance between the nucleus and the valence electron. This results in lowering the effective nuclear charge and thereby lowering the attractive force on the valence electrons. As a result of this, the tendency of the atom to lose electrons increases. Also, the penultimate shell becomes the outermost shell on losing valence electrons. The penultimate shell is a complete octet. Therefore, the resulting cation has a special stability like the zero group element. Due to this, the tendency of the atom to lose electron increases further. The metallic character of an atom is its tendency to lose electron. Underline this sentence. Therefore, the following trend is observed. Which trend is observed? Underline the next sentence. Metallic character of elements increases while going down the group. While going down the group. Atomic size increases down the group, and that's why metallic character also increases. You remember this. Now, as per the period wise, while going from left to right within a period, the outermost shell remains the same. However, the positive charge on the nucleus goes on increasing while the atomic radius goes on increasing. Sorry, what is given? Second sentence again, see that. However, the positive charge on the nucleus goes on increasing while the atomic radius goes on decreasing, and thus the effective nuclear charge goes on increasing. As a result of this, the tendency of atom to lose valence electron decreases, means that valence electron not easily lose from their outermost shell within a period from left to right. The two factors, namely the increasing nuclear charge, underline these two factors, increasing nuclear charge and decreasing atomic radius as we go from left to right within a period, are responsible for increasing the effective nuclear charge. Therefore, the valence electrons are held with a greater and greater attractive force. This is called electronegativity of an atom. Underline that. Due to increasing electronegativity from left to right within a period, the ability of an atom to become anion by accepting outside electrons goes on increasing. The tendency of an element to form anion or electronegativity is the non-metallic character of an element. Underline this sentence. What you are getting? The tendency of an element to form anion. Anion means negatively charged ions. How that ions form? By gaining the electrons from the other atom. Or electronegativity means negatively charged form is the non-metallic character of an atom. Now see on previous page what is given. Check this table. What happened from left to right and what happened from top to bottom. First of all, left to right period wise, check that. First point, decreasing atomic radius. Second, increasing electronegativity and non-metallic character. And third point, decreasing electropositivity and metallic character from left to right. And what happened from top to bottom? Check that. First point is given. What is the first point? Turn the paper and check. Increasing atomic radius from top to bottom, decreasing electronegativity and non-metallic character. And third point, increasing electropositivity and metallic character. Means from top to bottom what happened? Metallic character increases and non-metallic character decreases. Atomic radius increases. That is from top to bottom. And check again from left to right. Atomic radius decreases from left to right and metallic character also decreases from left to right. Only non-metallic character and electronegativity increases from left to right. So these points you remember carefully. Read the lesson again and again and remember these important points. Last topic of this lesson. Always remember what is given in that blue box. While going downwards in any group, the electropositivity of elements goes on increasing while their electronegativity goes on decreasing. Very important points are given here. Second, while going from left to right in any period, the period means from left to right, electronegativity of elements goes on increasing while their electropositivity goes on decreasing. Remember this second point. Third point, larger the electropositivity or electronegativity of element, higher the reactivity. So these three questions are given for you. You solve these questions by own. Use your brain power. What is the first question? What is the cause of non-metallic character of element? Second, what is the expected trend in the variation of a non-metallic character of element from left to right in a period? And third question is given, what would be the expected trend in the variation of non-metallic character of element down a group? So you find out the answer with the help of information given in our textbook. Last point, gradation in halogen family. Halogens, all these elements are placed in the modern periodic table in group number 17. The group 17 contains the member of the halogen family. All of them have the general formula X2. X2 means two atoms of all these halogen elements combine to form a diatomic molecule. X2 means two atoms are combined and to form a molecule. A gradation is observed in their physical state down the group. Which physical state? Check there. Fluorine and chlorine are gaseous in state. Bromine is in liquid state while iodine is in solid state. So this is a variation or a gradation observed in the physical state of these halogen family elements. So in this way, this lesson is over. Internet, my friend, try to collect information of these 2 points, inert gases, elements. How many inert gases are there? And uses of various elements. On next page, one paragraph is given. Now check that. Do you know M means, that is a general formula, metal or any element, or generally M means metal. Metal react with water specially, then to form metal hydroxides, MOH twice plus hydrogen gas release. A general chemical equation indicating the reaction of alkaline earth metals is given above. Where is alkaline earth metals? In group number 2 in our modern periodic table. You check that table. While going down the second period as beryllium, Mg magnesium, Ca calcium, Sr strontium, and Ba barium. The gradation in this chemical property of the alkaline earth metals is seen. While going down the second group, the reactivity of the alkaline earth metals goes on increasing, and thereby the ease with which this reaction takes place also goes on increasing. The beryllium does not react with water. Underline. Beryllium does not react with water. Magnesium react with steam. That you also underline. While calcium and strontium and barium, these three, calcium, strontium and barium, react with water at room temperature with increasing rate. So we learn the chemical reactions about these elements in the next lesson, number 3. So in this way, this is the information given about the elements. So this lesson number 2 is over. Now this is the modern periodic table. All important information that is required in 10th standard, that is written by hand, and this picture, this photo is given in your video. You read this, take the screenshot and do the study every day where these elements are placed in the modern periodic table. What is that group called? First group, check there, alkali metal group. Second group is called as alkaline earth metal. Then group number 17 specially called as halogen, and group number 18 is called as inert elements, noble gases, rare gases, as well as zero group element. So whatever the information required in 10th standard, that is given in this table. Especially 4 types of elements present here. First type of element given here, that is present in group number 1, 2 and 13 to 17, called as normal elements. Next, inert elements. Third type of element given here, transition element, and in last lanthanide actinide series, inert transition elements. So these are the 4 types of elements. 4 blocks are also shown in the picture. S block, right hand side P block, in between S and P D block is given, and at the bottom of the periodic table F block is present. In this F block, lanthanide and actinide series is observed. So in this way, this is the all important information explained in this period. So read the lesson carefully. So I will give the assignment after 1 hour. Thank you very much. Bye.